Okay, as we talk about this next section, what I want you to do is think of three key words that describe your ultimate reception. Okay? So, three words that describe your ultimate reception. And what we're going to do is use those three words as a guide going through this whole process. And so, once we have that understanding of what you're really trying to achieve, then we can kind of dive deeper, for one. But two, we can make sure that your event is customized specifically to your needs and what you're looking for. Some people just want a very laid back event, and maybe they don't even care about dancing or anything. They're just wanting a more basic event. Others, and this is probably the more common scenario, as one of their keywords is typically they want something fun. Well, try and define what fun is for you. And then also, a very common one is they want their event to be memorable, and that's awesome. We can definitely give you some great ideas on ways to make your event memorable. So we'll use these three words as a guide to go through your reception planner. And as you're thinking about that, I want you to think: do you want your wedding party to be introduced, or would you prefer just a introduction of just you, the bride and groom? It is totally up to you. You can certainly do as you please, but these are just simple things to think about. And another thing to think about would be your theme or style that you're shooting for. And we'll discuss this a little bit more later in the reception planner, but understanding what your theme and style is will greatly increase your capabilities of your event. And by that, I mean, we try to incorporate all your desires into your event. And if you have a desire to have your event more club-like, or just an ultimate party, we can certainly do that. But we want to kind of incorporate that all throughout the reception, so that way everything ties together nicely. Okay? And so with that said, you're going to see in this section, it says entrance of wedding party. You're going to see different styles of introductions that we could potentially do. And we can certainly adjust it to whatever you want, but these are just ideas and suggestions on different things that you can do for your intro. So first off would be what we call our formal introduction. Okay, this one's not used that common, but again, depending on your style, maybe everybody is in tuxedos and it's a more fancy affair, right? So with that said, we'll probably do for that formal event introduction, we'll probably have maybe like instrumental music going in the background, just to give you an idea. We can even, so most of the time what would happen is we would pronounce your names, their full names, and just make it more proper, okay, if you will. And so that's certainly one type of introduction. And again, we don't do that one too common, but we can certainly do that, okay? And the second one is what we call the party intro. And this, by far, is what most people want to go for. And what this is it's typically to upbeat music. And as we're doing the event, or I'm sorry, as we're doing the wedding party introduction, like I said, oftentimes the groomsmen may have like sunglasses on, or they may have like top hats, or some kind of funny accent, or just having a fun time dancing as they come in. So as their names are said, they might be spinning the person that they're walking with, and typically the music is normally upbeat and energetic. Okay, and again, by far, that is certainly the most common. And then this next one that I'm going to discuss is a sports introduction. And what that is if you're really into sports, and we've had this on some occasions, but if you're really into sports, we can include this as part of your intro. And the way this may look is, I'll give you an example of an event that we did previously. I wish I had a recording of this. But we had set up a wireless fog machine at the door that they were going to be introduced into. And we also programmed our lighting to do a white spotlight. And what it did is it just kind of scanned the crowd, okay? In addition to that, what we did is we found out a name and number from each person that's going to be in the wedding party and where they're from. So it kind of went something like this. Here's number 17 from Florissant, Missouri. Here he is, Bob Smith. And Bob Smith comes walking through the door. There's a gust of smoke that hits the door beforehand, kind of makes this kind of cloud, and he kind of walks through the smoke, and it's just very sports oriented. We can certainly do something like that, but again, totally depends on what you're interested in and what you prefer. Okay. This one is called our informative introduction. And to describe this to you, what I'm going to say is it takes a lot of time for both myself and as well as for you, because ultimately what this does is it gives you and your guest, I guess, the ability to kind of spotlight each person in your wedding party. So as an example, you may have selected your sister to be part of your wedding party. And in doing so, you may have like a special song that you had set for her. And as she walks in, I can read her name off. And then in addition to that, we can kind of tie in some tidbits, maybe why you selected her to be part of your wedding party and how much she means to you. It gives it a very personalized touch. And you don't see it too often, but these can be fun. They don't have to be all serious. You can, if there was a specific song that kind of incorporated something that happened whenever they were younger, that maybe a funny situation happened, you can kind of spotlight that specific situation. But whatever that is for you, you can just outline that for me, and I can work together with you on that to ensure that it sounds good. And then I will basically read that off at your event and incorporate that all together. It gives it a very unique and personalized touch. It does take a little bit of time, in the planning stages to go through it, and it does take a little bit of time to actually go through it at the reception. But it's definitely unique, and it gives you a different edge. Okay, and then of course, if you've ever seen any other DJs or any other introductions that you like, I know things are kind of popping up on the internet all the time. You can go on YouTube and probably see different DJ introductions that DJs have done. And so if this is something that you've seen or want to explore more, you can certainly check out YouTube and let me know what that is, and then we can go through it together and see what works best for you. Okay? And then finally, we can custom create one just for you. So use your imagination. Whatever you think would work well for your event, we can certainly try and incorporate that together. We'll work together as a team to create that ultimate vision for you. Okay? All right. If you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, let's go ahead and move on to the next section. Thank you so much.